Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this top 5 things that WWE doesn't want you to see. So this is taken from this Watch Mojo video. We're going to react to this, but I'm trying to make these reaction videos shorter so that they're easier to watch. And so I've skipped 5. Right? If you want to see the full 10, then obviously go over to the Watch Mojo channel. I've skipped 5. We're just going to focus on the final 5, right? So let's get straight into it. We can see what number 5 is. So this is That DX parody.
This infamous segment from Monday Night Raw turned heads back in 1998, never mind in the modern day. So it sort of goes without saying that D-Generation X's Beyond the Pale parody of the Nation of Domination would be stricken from the Peacock record. The entire group was decked out in exaggerated cosplay of different Nation members, which unfortunately meant that certain members of DX had put on blackface.
I think that was still frowned on at that time, but it was something that I think was still seen as being, shall we say, cheeky, rather than being just outright, you don't do that, right? And so that's why I think it made it onto. There is no way that would make it onto WWE TV now. So it is amazing to see how far we've come as a society since that aired, you know? So yeah, I can totally understand that one. Right, the Rock concerts.
The Rock concerts. Not even Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is safe from the Peacock axe, apparently, as this fan-favorite segment from Monday Night Raw was also edited and censored on its new NBC home. This one is strange because the Rock concert segment, as it's become known by fans, is relatively harmless. It's basically a bit of fun trash talk by Johnson to the Sacramento crowd and his opponent Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Is it the woman?
There is one disparaging line about the female population of Sacramento, but there's an absence of malice that makes us question whether that's what influenced Peacock's decision.
Okay, I'm really confused by that one because I'm watching it going, where's the problem? What's the problem? I seem to remember that The Rock kind of points over at a woman, gives a cheeky smile, and I think the general consensus was that there was a fan that may have flashed him, but you never see her. So it can't have been that. So, yeah, maybe there was a couple of lines in there. This, for me, is the problem with censorship. Because once you start pulling on that thread, where does it lead? And now we're getting segments like that, which I'm a bit confused by why we're cutting them. Someone has clearly seen something in there that's offensive. But, you know, I can understand the blackface thing, but I don't know, when it comes to other stuff that's less obvious, some might offend one person and then be totally fine to someone else. And this is where censorship can be a problem. And it's a conversation worth having, of course, because we're about to move a lot of stuff over to Netflix, certainly here in the UK. I know that you've still got Peacock in America. We've never had it on Peacock over here in the UK. So we're actually about to move everything to Netflix. I don't know what censorship's going to look like when that happens for us here. So quite a timely conversation, this one, actually. Oh, we all know this. We all know what's coming here.
Number 3, Vince says something he shouldn't. Survivor Series. Yep, none other than Vincent Kennedy McMahon decided it would be funny to shoot a backstage promo segment with John Cena where he asks the Doctor of Thugonomics, what's good in the hood? Before you can breathe a sigh of relief for the end of the cringe though, Vince goes overboard by dropping another word that we won't repeat. We'll just quote backstage onlooker Booker T by paraphrasing, tell us he didn't just say that. Number 2.
So it was the N-word, right? And I mean, it's one of those clips that is used a lot to kind of bash Vince. You know, if you want to kind of point out that Vince is a bad person, that's a clip that you will see getting shared around. So it is offensive. It shouldn't have been said. I'm sure that it is greatly regretted. I think they were trying to show how out of touch the Vince character was. And so I don't forgive them for that. It's absolutely right that it has been removed. Oh, and this as well. You know, this is, I hope they touch on why this happened, because I heard Roddy trying to explain this and it didn't make any sense to me. So I'd like to see if they try and tackle Rowdy Roddy Piper's explanation for this.
There is a wealth of trivia regarding this very controversial match from WrestleMania 6. For starters, there's an elephant in the room about Rowdy Roddy Piper painting half of his body black prior to wrestling Bad News Brown. Piper's match and pre-match promo were removed from Peacock, skipped entirely, and for obvious reasons. Additionally, there's the rib that Andre the Giant reportedly played on Piper, tampering with the special liquid that was designed to remove the sweat-resistant body paints after Piper's match. This meant that Roddy was stuck in this state for nearly a month, before he was finally able to scrub the stuff off his body.
There's a lot to talk about there, and it's a real shame they've not touched on it. I heard Rowdy Roddy Piper say that when he found out he was going to have to feud with Bad News Brown, he was really frustrated because he knew that there was not going to be any good promos that came out of it. Bad News Brown was just not a charismatic person. And so Roddy said he knew that he was going to have to carry the feuds. And so an idea that he came up with was that he would actually paint half of his body black so that he could basically build the feud himself. I don't know if that's not a retrospective explanation. It still doesn't excuse it, right? And it's still one of the most awful moments and decisions in WrestleMania history. They actually even Jax made a figure of it in, I want to say, the 2000s. They actually even made a figure of it. So it's crazy that, like, at the time, no one stopped him. And it's crazy that then Jax in the 2000s thought that it was acceptable to kind of commemorate that moment with an action figure. So let's go and see what number one is.
Notifications. Number 1, Mickie James's hand gesture.
Yeah, this ain't that bad.
WrestleMania 22, when James grabbed Trish in a very, let's say, sensitive area. Mickie then turned towards the main hard camera and made a very specific and suggestively sexual hand gesture. The moment was censored almost immediately from WWE replays and continues to enjoy this status at the company's current home on Peacock. Do you agree with our picks?
No, I don't. I think the picks are okay. I don't think that you can say that number one is worse than the Roddy thing, or even worse than the DX thing. I mean, blackface is worse than what, you know, Mickie James did. I mean, who's offended by that apart from maybe parents? So to me, like, you can put it on the list because it's been cut out from Peacock. I can't say that's number one, though. But there we go. That's my reaction to the top 5 things that WWE doesn't want to see. If you want to see the rest of them, go check out the Watch Mojo channel and this top 10 Watch Mojo video to see the rest. Let me know feedback below if you enjoy these videos. I'm trying to get them down around the 10-minute mark, so this is why I was thinking, actually, if we do just 5, then we might be able to achieve that. And if it works and people enjoy it, then we can do many, many more. So thanks a lot for joining me. Appreciate the support, and I will see you again next time. Bye for now.